What is up, my people? Today I'm going to be looking at Transformers Age of the Primes Waspinator, or as he's actually labeled on his packaging, Fugitive Waspinator. And yes, that is probably something you've noticed. No box this time. I got this guy a little while back, and the box is long gone, probably in a landfill somewhere. But that does give us an opportunity to look at the figure right off the bat. So let's do that now. And as you can see, this guy is a heavy retool of the Legacy United animated Bumblebee. And I do say heavy retool. Let's take a look and see if we can try and figure out exactly what they changed on him. It's the head. That's it. Just the head. And I gotta say, I do like this head sculpt they decided to go with. He's looking pretty slick with those purple eyes, those two crests up on top, and that pretty gnarly chin he's got going on there. They also changed his colors. Bumblebee, as you know, is yellow. This guy is more of a teal, green, and purple. And you know what? I actually really do like this color scheme. Green and purple are two of my favorite colors, and I think they work very well together. So that's the figure. Let's get right into the accessories. Taking a look at his accessories, he does come with these two little torpedoes, or are they rockets? You know what? Torpedoes are water-based weapons, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that these are actually rockets. Now, this looks pretty nice, cast in that clear plastic, and you can see the fins have been painted with this metallic silver paint, which does give a nice little contrast there. And on the bottom, there is that peg for you to put into his little hand, or you can go into any of the ports, the weapon ports along the figure. And on the back side, where the boost would come out, there is a peg hole. Now, I don't have any blast effect pieces to try and test it out, but if you do, then let me know if it works. And he does also come with two halves of the same cone. Now you can see these cones, or are they stingers or drills? That's for you to decide. Are cast in that same clear purple, but they decided to go ahead and paint over it in this nice metallic silver and purple paint. Now, why they decided to just go ahead and paint over it is anyone's guess, but you know what? Look at that effect that you get. It looks pretty nice. So I'm a fan of it. Now let's take a look at how these accessories work with the figure. Let's just move this back. Get that figure up in here. So there's the rocket piece, and as I showed, there is a peg hole here. And on these cones, or stinger pieces, I don't know why I keep calling them cones, there is a peg here, and you can slot that right in, just like that, to create a whole piece. So let's do that for both of these. Just like that. And if you wanted to, on the back of our Waspinator figure, there are these two peg holes here, portholes. You can slot those right in, put that right in there to give him a nice little jetpack for him to fly around. Or is it just weapon storage? To me, it's a jetpack, so he can blast off. Or if you wanted to do, you could take this off and put that right into his little hand there, like so. And let's get the other side going too, like so. So for him to get some nice dual wielding blasters. That's pretty cool. But wait, there is more, which you could do if you so desired to. Let's take these off of his hands, put them in the back here. You could take these off. Boom. Take this off. Boom. And on the underside of these stingers, one does have a peg, and the other does have a hole. So you could put these together, but the way I find to do it the best is if you take his hand, open up his little door panel there, flip it over, close it up, and do the same thing for the other side. Flip that open, close it up, And you can see on the underside of his hands there, he does have these little peg holes. Ah! Ah, my hands! What you do with my hands? Nah, he's fine. So what you could do is you put this little peg here into that little hole, slot it in like so, and do the same for the other side like so, and then you rotate right here at the elbow, and then you can see you can clasp these together, and it should snap right into place to get this pretty cool looking drill attack. Or what I like to do is you can put these rockets right on his back like so, put the other one on his back like so, and now he's a human missile. Now let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. This guy is not slacking when it comes to articulation. This guy has more points of movement than most other figures that are larger than him. Transformers figures. His head is on a ball joint. You can see it right back there. He does have this nice little opening right there, which allows his head to go all the way up, just like so. And he can look down, not at all. But he can also turn his head all the way around. Now, I will say these transformation joints do get in the way of his massive chin there, so he can't look all the way around looking down. If you want him to turn his head to look to the side, it's going to be up a little bit. His shoulder joints, he's got quite a few of them actually. He does have a joint here. Let's move it out so you can see. He has a joint here and a joint here, so it allows his shoulder to move forward this much, or you can go just a little bit more. So he can go straight out, and then you can go back, and let's go all the way back. His shoulder can go out that far, okay? And then his elbow does go to a 90-degree angle. Now, something that I actually found pretty surprising for this little guy is he does have wrist articulation, so he can rotate. There is a rotation joint right there. Some Transformers that are even more complicated than this guy don't have wrist articulation, but he does. He also has a waist joint that can go all the way around. His leg joint, let's get a better view of it, does have a rotation joint right there on his thigh, so his leg can turn all the way around. He can also move his leg up that much and then move back that much, and he can full on do the splits like so. And his knee joints are actually another surprising part of him. His knee joint can go well past 90 degrees. Look at that. So he can just throw some pretty gnarly flying knees. And his ankle joints, he can move them forward and back ever so slightly, and then rotate side to side. Not enough to even mention, so I don't know why I did. But those are all his points of articulation. And you know what? For someone so small, his scale is pretty small, he does have a lot of points of articulation, so you can put him into some pretty nice dynamic poses. That's the figure's articulation and posability. Let's get right into his transformation. Okay, so to transform this guy, what you're going to want to do is put him in your hands right here and begin kind of balling him up like so, and squeezing, and applying a lot of pressure and shaking him. And then you just keep squeezing, applying a lot of even pressure, and just kind of smooth him out until finally, bam, there he is, fully transformed into his vehicle mode. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and give you detailed instructions on how to do transformations. There are plenty of other great YouTube channels out there that give nice, detailed, comprehensive video instructions on how to transform various Transformers. I just want to talk about the toy and, you know, my opinion on it. Now, I gotta say, this guy does transform into this nice, snazzy-looking coupe. Yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. It is cast in this kind of greenish teal plastic. I do wish that this piece right here did match the rest of it, but you know, what are you gonna do? And you can see on the sides he does have these ports for weapon storage. And the ports that were on his back do make for some pretty nice what do you call it, exhaust ports. You can see on the top he does have that light on the side there, along with that racing stripe going down the left side of the vehicle. It does not continue onto the back, but you know, it is there for maximum speedage, which he can do because his tires do spin pretty nicely, which allows him to roll out without any issues. And you can see there's his front end looking pretty mean, and the sides there. He does have these side view mirrors, little door handle there, and a pretty cool looking spoiler there that's actually a transformation joint. So it's nice that they worked that in. I do wish that the back end was painted, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. Now let's see how his weapons work with the figure itself. So you can put them on the back here to give a nice little booster for him to speed out nice and quick. Or if you wanted to, you can put them up here in the front for some nice little pop-out weaponry. So that's pretty cool. So there he is in his vehicle mode. Not much else to say. I do like the way it looks. It's nice and compact. And there you have Age of the Primes, Fugitive Waspinator. Do I recommend him? Yes, I do. I do recommend this guy. I think he's great. I actually prefer this one over the Bumblebee counterpart. To be honest, I've never seen Transformers animated. Yeah, I know, don't kill me. Here come all of the hate comments, but you know what? I, as big of a Transformers fan as I am, never got around to watching it. But even if I did, I think I would probably choose this guy over the Bumblebee just because of the color scheme. The teal and purple, I think, work really well together, or green and purple. Two of my favorite colors are green and purple. So seeing them on a figure, especially this clear translucent purple with it, which I think looks pretty nice, you know, to me it's a real eye catch. So I prefer this one over the other one. And besides, how many Bumblebees do we all have? We got plenty of them. All this yellow on our shelves. We can use a little bit more color, right? He does have a nice heft to him. He's a nice pocket-sized figure, fits in the palm of your hand. He feels good in your hand. For the size, the transformation is pretty involved, so you know there's no boredom there for the transformation. In his robot mode, he does have a lot of good points of articulation. In his car mode, he does roll out nice and well. So yeah, I say pick him up, or don't, you know, whatever. Have a good day.